It's been a couple weeks and I am overdue for a garden tour. So thanks for being here and I hope you enjoy it. We'll start here at the beginning. You see that this sage is growing out of control. It's taken over the path, but behind it we've got my kiwis and they are just starting to bloom. This is a female, there's a male right next to it, and then there's also a fig tree. You can see plenty of baby figs on it, but this sage is just getting out of control. It needs some trimming. Same with these strawberries. But if you look in there, there are plenty of ripe ones that I need to be harvesting. They're doing great somehow with no care whatsoever. These first couple beds, I haven't planted a whole lot yet, but my peas are just starting to be ready to harvest, and they're one of my favorite springtime snacks. Also, one of Finn's favorite snacks as well. It's probably the main reason why he comes out to the garden with me. My tomatillos look beautiful, lots of flowers, but I don't see any fruit on either of these yet, but it will be coming soon. The weather has been kind of cold and stormy and windy, and just not really ideal for that kind of a crop. But you see here, Finn's trying to pick his own peas, so I'll give it to him so he won't be wrecking any of these plants. A lot of my lettuces are starting to bolt, but that's okay because a lot of them are also still producing great tasting lettuces. I've got a couple different colors of lettuce, some Swiss chard, bok choy, that's really what's bolting, but all mixed together it makes a great salad. And then as you can see, I just have my little bean seedlings. They're gonna start growing up those poles, and I've got cilantro that I've been harvesting. Mostly I just add it to my salads. I like that extra flavor in there. Some green onions just tucked in there as well. And then this mass of shelling peas. I do my shelling peas as purple because it's easier to find them, and that way I know they're a different variety from the other ones that I eat as a snap pea. But they're just easy to shell. You just kind of squeeze at the end that the flour's on, and if with two hands it's even easier, but they're purple shells but green peas on the inside. They're delicious. Finn loves those as well, but I've been harvesting a crazy amount and you can't tell because that thing is loaded. Now over to my tomatoes. They have been handling the stormy, nasty weather quite well. This year I'm growing a lot of purple or black varieties, and it's very interesting seeing these baby tomatoes at that color. That's not something I'm used to. That is a Black Beauty, and it's my first time growing them, but they look fantastic. I've got some other tomatoes that are obviously not that color, and I'm excited. I can't wait for tomato season. This is a Paul Robeson, and I've got some Amish paste tomatoes on this end. I don't see any baby tomatoes on those plants yet, but they're looking great and they're going to produce some crazy amount. But this pea bed is just insane back there. It just looks like a mess. And then I've got my blueberries. Last year I hardly got any fresh blueberries, but all of the bushes are just loaded. They look like they're gonna snap. They're so full. Same with this raspberry. I just grow this tiny variety. It's less messy. It stays in its container. Well, it doesn't drape out of the container. It still sends runners out below it. This is my rhubarb. We've harvested plenty of that. I have another fig tree. As you can see, they are getting close to the size that they'll be when they're full grown. They're just not going to be ripe for another month or so. My potato bed is looking great as well. It looks like I probably need to add a little bit more hay. They're getting pretty tall outside of the hay, which is okay. They're not going to do anything bad. Now let's see what else I have growing outside of the garden. I have some of my onions. These are Walla Walla onions. They're not doing great. I haven't really had time to really do a whole lot in the garden, so they haven't been fertilized. If they're small, they're still gonna taste good when it's time to harvest. That's okay. And then we're gonna come around to the outside. This is my husband's favorite flower, so I have a couple of them near the garden. And then my shallots look like they've taken a beating from the wind and rain, and possibly some deer have laid on them because they're just all over the place here. These shallots I actually didn't plant this last year. They are ones that I didn't harvest from the year before, so they're not going to end up huge because they're overcrowded, but they're still delicious and they'll do fine. This blank space that just has some sparse weeds I cleared because I'm going to put my corn there. I don't plant a huge amount of corn because there's only 3 of us in the family, so it's just what we're gonna eat. And then there was a little bit of garlic, and then my walking onions that I need to do something with this year. I have way too many of them. They're taking up too much space, but I love this time of the year because they just look crazy. There's nothing else in the garden that looks so wild, and they're just fun to me. They taste okay. They're nothing crazy special, but they're, you know, perfectly edible. But I just love the craziness that they have to the garden, and I have them growing in several places, not just these garden beds, because they spread like crazy. The lettuces were bolting in the other bed, but I have a second harvest coming. I've got some carrots, some turnips, and then different lettuces, spinach, Mizuna, all mixed in here, and it'll just be cut and come again. These are the squash and watermelon that I need to get out in the garden, but it's been kind of nasty weather, so I haven't planted them yet. This is my tunnel. As you can see, my husband has been great because I haven't been able to be out in the garden, and he put in a drip system for all these buckets. Mostly peppers out here, but I do have some artichokes and some eggplant, and these cucumbers in a couple weeks will get moved back out to the garden. They're just in here for now, but they will be in the garden. Finn is still looking for snacks. This is a Thai chili pepper. They're very skinny. The plant is tall and skinny too. It looks very different from a lot of my other peppers. I mostly grow small sweet varieties, so this one's probably close to harvest, and I am excited that we're already going to be eating peppers soon. We eat a lot of these small snacking peppers, and that's what most of these plants are. But I do have jalapenos and some regular sized bell peppers, poblanos, shishitos, not a whole lot of different ones, but he just has this watering system where it goes around on the back, and then there's a tube to each bucket, and it's set on a timer, so I don't have to do anything in here other than harvest. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon in the garden.